This is a WJZ special report. We have just learned the sentence for former Mayor Catherine Pugh. 3 years in prison, followed by 3 years probation.
Now, this all stems from a scheme involving the sale of her Healthy Holly children's books. WJZ is live at the federal courthouse downtown, and we will have a live report here at latest. But here is the latest you see on your screen. 3 years in prison, 3 years probation, all again regarding the scheme of her Healthy Holly children's books. We're going now downtown to the courthouse, to the federal courthouse. Avajoy Burnett joins us now live. Avajoy.
Guys, quite a significant here in the city of Baltimore. The 50th mayor of the city, former Mayor Catherine Pugh, has been sentenced in a federal courthouse to more than 3 years in prison on conspiracy charges and also tax evasion charges. Now, all throughout this, we've been speaking with Doug Colbert. You're a legal analyst. You were inside the courtroom today. Give us a breakdown of what happened and what are your thoughts on the sentencing?
Well, it's a very solemn occasion. When you go through a sentencing involving the mayor of our city, you have to realize it was a very serious crime and series of crimes that Mayor Pugh pled guilty to. On the other hand, the judge balanced those crimes against the very good public service that Mayor Pugh has been engaged in for most of her political life. And so in the end, the judge gave a sentence that was considerably less than what the government had been seeking. They had been seeking close to 5 years, so they gave her credit, in a sense, for the good deeds that she has done in her life.
Considerably less than what the government wanted, but considerably more than what her attorneys wanted. They wanted just 1 year and 1 day. This is something that you predicted when we spoke with you earlier.
Yes, I think you have to consider the deterrence value of a sentence like this. There's a very clear message that's being told to every elected official, which is we shall not accept corruption any longer. And so the judge had to take into account just not that it was a one-act situation, but this was engaged over a period of 7 years. And it was a very elaborate scheme that the mayor was involved with.
The U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland called it deliberate. He had some really strong words for her. He said she betrayed the trust of the city, and he called it a recurring pattern of well-executed steps. Is that something that you feel as if was presented thoroughly in here in the courthouse throughout these months?
I think the federal prosecutors made a very strong argument and supported it with many of the acts that would have let Mayor Pugh know that she was engaged in wrongdoing. And I think the judge made it clear that what she had done was wrong.
For people, we're going to hold you here because you were an eye inside the courtroom for people who weren't really privy to what was going on inside. Describe to us what the mayor said. We understand that she took the stand. What did she say to the judge in the courtroom?
Well, you don't take the stand, but you do make a statement to the court, and this followed about a half dozen other people, including our former Mayor Schmoke, who gave very strong statements really representing the Baltimore community. And what Mayor Pugh wanted to tell the judge, most of all, is to offer her sincere apology for having done and pled guilty to these crimes. I think what the mayor also wanted to do was to accept responsibility. She never, on the other hand, she never told us exactly what was going on, either in her life or in her mind, that allowed her to continue to be accepting money from businesses that were doing business with our city. So we never really got a full sense of that, but she was very earnest in what she had to say.
And it sounded like she was emotional as well.
Yeah, she started off very emotional. I think she relied on trying to tell the story in the best possible way. And I think in the end, if you're sitting in that courtroom, you could hear a pin drop. I mean, people were just focused so intensely on what she was saying.
And can you describe to us how the judge reacted in all of this? Was she stern with the former mayor?
No, this particular judge does what I would hope every judge does, which is she shared her thinking with us. She said she might be repetitious in what she had to say, but we got a real sense that she was both giving weight to the government's argument that this was a serious breach of the public's trust, and at the same time she was able to really give recognition and acknowledgement of the very good acts that Mayor Pugh had done in her lifetime, too.
And what do you make of the fact that the judge said she didn't make her decision until everything had transpired today?
I think that tells all of us just how important the sentencing is, because at that point the judge is really hearing from the defendant, hearing from the defense lawyers, hearing from the government lawyers, and you're really able to give your full attention and focus on this particular case.
We understand that the U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland will be speaking right now. We're going to go to them. Thank you for your time.
You're so
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you.